Okay. Let me, you can see my screen, right?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So let me open the last page. So this we stopped here yesterday. So um before we continue with the before we start with the project, so let me just quickly just give an idea of those drop down stuff or the navigation. So let me just say class of okay. So let me give this one a class of content. Okay, so let's see what we have in the UI. Right, so we have the list, we have three links. All right, so let's come to the CSS, and then here we can then have the name of the class, which is, we call it .nav. Then we can say background color. So let me just say green, something like this. Then we can give it a width. Let me just give it a little bit. And then I have the contents. Um, this one, when the um when the navigation link, when we are not hovering onto it, I don't want the contents of that navigation to show like the sub nav or the content. So I don't want it to appear, so I can use the display non property. And then you can also give this one a different background color if you like. Let's see. Okay. Also for the anchor tags, we can also give it some style. Like give it color. So let's see what we have. So now let me increase the font size a little bit so that you can see it clearly. Oh, Okay. So now we have just only lists. The what's it called? The other list one, list two, the sub content, because we already had display of none, so it has already disappeared. If I remove this and I refresh it now, it's going to come back. So link one, link two, link three, stuff like that. So, but we don't want to see it until we like over the mouse onto it. So that one can be none. Um, Also, let me reduce this. All right. So the anchor tag, we say we can give it some padding, and then we can give it, you can either give it a text decoration. By default it has a text decoration, but we can say underline. Also we want it to display in block. So let's see what we have so far. It's still not going to show because yeah, we've not done anything on this. So what else we can do is that we can now say when we over our mouse to the um, element list, then it should show the sub navigations under it. So we can say drop nav when you over onto it, then the class, which is the drop nav content, we want to be able to show it. That's just what we want to do. So we just say the display. We want to show it in block. So let's see what we have. So refresh this, and then I over my mouse to it, so it's going to show. If I remove my mouse, it's going to say. But let me reduce um the font. Let me reduce it. Font size. I can say let's just maybe medium should be fine. I Yeah, so this is medium. Now the link doesn't, we can't over doesn't show the and something, so we can just have the href, that's the mouse cursor, so that it can show the and. So you can have the href to just go nowhere. So it's basically saying you don't want to go to anywhere. So we can just take this and refresh it. So with this now we have the and hovering onto it. Another thing, I think this one also we can make it maybe an anchor tag. So let me say this is like home. So I think even without using this, we can also use the cursor attributes, to make it, but there's no need for that. So let's just, since it's a link, it's sensible for us to use the href attributes. So let me speak color. Oh, hold on. Drop now. Yeah. Now the background color. Okay, let me choose a color for it also. A color. Let's see. I think black should be okay. Let's refresh it. Okay. Then we can also use I guess, the nav anchor. Okay, let's just try that. That didn't work out well for us. So can move this here and then give it an output of let's try it again. Okay, yeah, now it's visible. As you can see, the text are on the line. So, but we can also just remove the text. Can for this, I mean, the first one we can say text decoration should be none instead of on the line. So the first one when we give it text, so now there's no underline for this one, but there is underline for these ones because we have a text decoration online. But another thing we can do is we can also remove it if we don't like it. Like none. So refresh this and then yeah. So this one also we don't have any. So basically, if this is just one, but you can have it like couple of them, like so you can like this is home, this is about, this is maybe listing, this is contact. So it can be anything, and we can also maybe give it some margin or padding. But yeah, let's see. Can give it some padding of let's say 10 pixel. Then yeah, let's see what we have before continue. Okay, yeah, so we have this thing, but we want it to be like horizontal, not vertical. So one thing, I think we use maybe display block somewhere. That is why I guess so. But let me see. Block now, this, block now. Oh, okay, let's try something. Let's try display inline. Let's see what we have. Okay, let's try something else then. Okay, let's see this display drop now display flex. Let's try this. Yeah, this one is the display flex works fine. Yeah, the display flex works fine, but now in this case, we have to now reposition this one like underneath it. So one thing we can also do for that is that let's see. Yeah, okay. Now I see why this wasn't working. This is where the problem lies. So let me see. So we have a grading of the pixel. Yeah, so now this one is now like that. And then you can see you now have this link under this. Yep. Do you understand the idea?
Yes. So, but if you put your mouse on home, can you do that?
Oh, okay, yeah, sure.
So then it display all the link. So
Yeah,
inside that home. So what if we want to put some things under about listing contact, are we going to do that also?
you mean if you want to put like another drop down.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, it's kind of like the idea stays similar. So let's try. So we can let me just change this. So we can have another. Let me copy this. But in this case, I'm just going to change the. So this is for home. Then this is for about. So let me just say about one, about two, about three. So now for this one, we can, they are this one and this one, they are doing similar stuff. So what we can do is that we can like give this an ID of home. So we know that this is when we have we are hovering over home. So instead of all the anchor tag, because this one we are
Mm.
using the element itself. So this one is going to be for home. So we can then say when this sorry, let me say display contents. Okay, for this. Okay, hold on. So now what we can do is, let me just hold on for that. Let me complete this one. So we can have this guy have the same thing. Let's say we have the dots drop down of nav. So what do we want it to do? We don't want it to display when we have when we are just viewing the page. So we can give it a display of none. Also, another thing we want to maybe give it a background color. We can also give it a background color. Um, let me give it. Okay, so that is for the content. Now, this is where we want to over the about. So let me give it an idea of about, an idea of about. Oh, I thought I gave this one idea of home, but I wrote ash, sorry. So this is the about. So now we can give this one as the ash. Let me give it about. And then what I'm going to say is that when we over onto this, then we want to have the, okay, we didn't change this name. Okay, let me go now content. Let me give it about so that we don't have the same stuff over there. So we want this one to be the same as this. And then when we over onto this, we want the display. Sorry, man. We want the display to be blocked. And that is for this guy over here. Okay, so let's see what we have so far. So if we refresh this and then we go to the about, we still have link one, link two. Okay, because over here we stated that where is the over for this one? Drop nav content. Let's see, this is the content. Okay, where's the drop nav? All right, so this is the anchor tag. So when we have the anchor tag and then the contents, we say should display none, which is what we also have here. Yeah, kind of we can collapse them together since they are the same thing. So instead of that, let me just collapse it together. So I'm just going to delete this. So we don't want, yeah, we don't want any of them to display. Now, here, when we have the about, when we are hovering onto it, then we want the nav content about to display in block. Okay, this one is displaying. This one is displaying this. Okay, let's inspect it so that we know what's going on behind the scene. Okay, so let's see the properties. This is the anchor tag. It has this property of color, text decoration, and the padding. And then please then let's try the over. When we over onto it, we are giving it which property? We are still giving it this property. Up now. Execution. See, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. All right, let's try something else. Then let me just remove this drop. Oh, no, not for this one. For this one. Okay, just wanted to test something. So let's just say background color is blue. Yeah, so let's refresh. All right, so let's over onto it. Yeah, so that means that is working correctly. We are able to get the over effect. Okay, so this is working. Cool. So when we hover onto it, then we want this class. We want this class. Let me just display block. Or one more thing, let me before I do that, let me do something else. So we can also say this drop down. Let's remove this from here. So I just wanted to see it on the UI. So I just see the way it looks like before we hide it. Yeah, so we have the about one. Okay, got you. So we have the about one, about two. Yep, we have it. Okay, okay, yep. Mhm. Okay, let's use this hash then. So that we let's see if it's going to the block now. Oh, I see. Look at what I was, look at where the challenge lies. We say what the drop nav is. Okay, I see. That's why. So that is where the challenge is. So it should be when we over onto the home. That is when we want this one to show, not when we over onto this guy over here. Yeah. So basically, okay, now let's refresh it. Now, when we over onto this, nothing is going to happen. When we over onto this, nothing is going to happen. When we over onto this, we should be able to, nothing happens. Nothing happens. All right, let's see for this. Nothing happens also. We were able to over onto this just now. Okay. drop nav. Another way we can do this is that let's say we can also use this. We can do this way. So let's just copy this. So we can remove this. Let's leave this as the ID, the drop nav content. So we're just gonna remove this, and then we can leave this as it was, which is this. So for this one, we can remove this. So remove this guy, and then we can we don't actually need this also, but let's just leave it. Then we can remove this guy. Yep. So, but now we're going to have them in different on top of each other. So what we can do is we can like put them together in a div, so that way we'll be able to like display them as flex item. So we can do a div. So this one we can give it a class of, let's just say, nav, and then um just navigation, and then we can, so let's just, so before this guy here, we can then say navigation is, then let's give it a display of flex, and then we can also give it like gap of like 20 pixel, just to, so that means this guy and this guy, so those two are the children of this guy. Okay, so then for this one we can change this to nav dashboard, and then for this one we already have what we needed. So let's just see what we have so far before continue. Okay, so this one we still have, okay, yeah, so this one, now we have this one for this, but when we over onto this, nothing is going to come up. Okay, so that this one is fine. Then let's work on this one then. So for this one, excuse me, we can now say that so let's get rid of this guy over here. We can replace it back with this. Oh, my bad. Just let's be. So we can replace it back with this. What? So then we already have the nav content about, which is displaying, yeah, here, which is block. So let's see what we have. Then we can refresh this, and this is still working, and this is also working now. So excuse me, please. Um, but now it's just showing in, you know, like it's inline. We can make it display in block formats. So we can just have this guy. Um, I can just copy this one, and then also copy this guy. Yeah, so that way with this, and now we have this, and we also have this. So what just happening is I can remove this guy over here. Yeah, so that way we don't have the that color. So now we have this guy, and we have this guy. Okay, yeah, so we can do the same thing for the other values, like we want to add another navigation, so we can say nav whatever the name is, let me just say listing. So we can do the same thing. So we can refresh this. Okay. That's because we didn't add all these properties. So let me just add it here so that way it's not going to be shown over here. Yeah. Oh, where is the listing? We didn't even see it. This is listing. So this is listing. Oh, am I choosing the wrong class? I think so. I think I copied the wrong class. Yep. So that should come out now. Yeah, so now here we also have listing, but we've not really started the other content, but you get the idea. It's the same thing. One thing also is this one. Hold on. When we over onto this one, I notice that this thing is also coming down. Let's see why that is happening. The home. Let's see. So I think we did. So this is about this font size for the picture. This is displaying flex. Drop nav, background color. Okay, so we can let's just put this one into this position, into the navigation position. Yep. So let's save this. Yep. Yep. Also, is there something another thing we can change here? Hold on. Let's see. So the nav, this one is 40. Yeah, the nav anchor tag. So we can also copy the same thing. That's the drop nav. So we can also copy the same thing to apply the same properties to these guys. This is 40 pixels. Yeah, this font size, let me just put it in. Okay, let me leave it there. Not sure if it's so. Yeah, we can also do the same thing for these guys also. So that way they can have the same similar properties. Mm,
So
okay,
why is it that home and listing and about they are not on the same level?
okay, yeah, that might be because who knows? Here we have the drop nav, 40, font size of 40 pixel, right? So let me copy this guy also. Also, which one do we have? Drop nav that is unique. I think that should be it. So now we have this. The same thing also, we can copy this guy also for it into it. Yes. I also feel that we can probably like refactor this maybe more, whereby we can collapse some of those classes together instead of what am I having thoughts. So I believe we can collapse some of those classes together, but don't spend your day with this. Yeah, so now we have them on the same line. This one we didn't have any, styling for it. This we didn't, but for this one we do have for it, and for this one we also have for it. So that is for those two, for those ones. Okay, I think. Yeah. So do you get this, or maybe you have any more question about it?
Yes, I understand how you do all those
Okay.
things. So,
Yeah.
but
So
so let's assume that you want to put arrow, like arrow down beside everything. Can you do
yeah.
it with CSS also, or is another thing entirely?
Yeah. So if it's you can either, if when you say arrow, like, do you mean, okay, the down arrow, or
Yes. So let's say you want to put beside home, we
Mhm.
want to put a symbol of arrow down.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, yeah.
You
So
understand what
uh,
I mean?
yeah, yeah, I did. I do understand it. So the one thing you can use is, like, say, you can either use maybe an icon for all those, let's say, let me think, um what's the name of the icon itself? It's Google icon or something. Okay, yeah. So let's say we use some icons from that, we just place those icon SVG beside it. Let me see if we can find, okay, something like this, or no, not something like this. Like, let me see. Um, yeah, something like this, right? So let's copy this SVG. We can have it. Let's have it at beside the home button. Where is the home? This is the home. So let me just bring it downward and paste it. So copy this guy, and then can refresh this. Yeah, it's very big. Yeah. So one thing we can do is we can like, maybe the width or the size, we can make it small. So let's say, let me just give it an ID so that we can quickly identify it. I don't want to. So we can say, um, uh, or let me make it a class, so that if we have similar thing in other places, we can just use the same class other than ID. So we can have the drop arrow, and then I can give it a width and height of, let's say, maybe 20 pixel, and also the same thing with the heights. Let's try that. Let's see, and then let me display it in line. Or let's see what we have. Yeah, so this is what you're saying, right? So we can over onto it, although we can maybe, it's kind of, we can position it maybe at the center or something. So we can have this at the top. Let's just put it padding. I don't want to padding. Oh, let's just give it like 2 pixel. Excuse me, it's, or magenta, whatever. What else can we try? We can use um okay, so if we make this content like this one, like this, if we make it a flex item, also we can do similar things. So let's see. So let's see, where is it? We have um so we can say this should be a display flex. Okay, but I want to know if it's working. So let me remove this guy first so that I can be sure that it's working. Okay, so now we have the display flex. Okay, so we can have the flex, the flex basis. I think that is not necessary since we already have it closed. Right. Yeah, the flex direction is already so we don't need it. The flex wrap, there's no need, the element is not wrapping. So the flex go, we don't need it. Let me see. Okay, let's try justify justify content. We can use the justify contents to be center. Let's try this. Okay, so let's use the um align items. Okay, let's try the align items. I think the justify content is horizontal, so I think align is vertical. So let's try this. Let's see. Okay, okay, it does move a little bit. So another thing we can do is that we can like move this one specifically, this drop arrow. So I think we create it here. So we can say I think align self. We can say let's use stop just to see if effects is right. So oh my god, starts. Yeah, I think you can use flex start of starts, but let's try it. Okay, so let's use flex end. Yeah, so it's at the bottom. Okay, so let's say center. So center, yeah. Okay, this is center. Then this guy, let's remove this guy. Say, okay, okay, we're doing it only because we just want to. I see. Okay, so I think we probably don't need these two guys. Yeah, so that should still be the same thing. But this guy, we can move it to flex end or just end. I think just end is also going to work fine with it. Yeah. So we can move it downward or make it at the center, whichever one we prefer. So do you get it?
Yes.
Okay. Yep.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. So that is for that. So one thing I want us to just like try is that since we've done so many properties, we can also combine those properties to just create a simple web page and just to see how we can combine. I know that most of us were already using those properties on our own, so we can combine those properties and just see the effect and how it looks. So I'm going to like create a new page on I'm going to create a new page and then we can see. So let me create a new page. I'm going to call it, let me see. So I'm going to create another, let me bring the HTML file here. So I'm going to also create another CSS. Okay. All right. So like I said, the the image I sent to the group, so that one you guys will like work on it individually just to see how you're able to digest those CSS properties and how to use them. So, but after you guys are done with it, we are also going to, look at it and maybe try to correct something if it's necessary. And if it is not, then that's fine. But so for this one, what we're going to be doing is that I'm going to like open this Netflix page and then we are going to work on it together. This one is just going to be like a collaborative stuff. So we are going to work on it together. And then, although if you look at, apart from this, if you look at this guy, this guy, they look similar. So we can do maybe two or one or two of these. So once we do it, the same thing applies to these other guys because this is an image, this is an image, this is also an image. I think maybe this is a video inserted into the image or something similar to this one. So we can pick maybe this guy and this guy, or we pick this guy and this guy, whichever one. Also, we're going to look at the this frequently asked question side, and we're going to do something like this also. So basically, we can do something like this using um, we can do the layout using either Flexbox or Grid. But to be honest, most of these page, I think they probably use Flexbox. But what I'm going to do is that I don't want to use just Flexbox because we also discuss about the other layout type. So I'm going to use Flexbox and I'm also going to, for some elements, I'm going to use Grid. So that way we can see the combination of both. Okay. So first thing, what I'm going to do is I'll just steal their background image. Let me steal it. I don't even know. They don't have it. Search this image. Oh wow. No way. What's going on? I think my screen has frozen. It seems like my system is acting up. Okay, let's see what they have. I don't know. I'm trying to get the background image so that we don't have to, look for it or something. Or I mean, we don't have to use another image rather. That's like, um, maybe I don't know. Maybe their image is somewhere else. Um, mm. Okay, maybe what we're going to do is that we can try and see what we can find, if we can find the flicks. Image. That's strange. Um, okay, I think we found some stuff over here. Let's see. I mean, it's kind of okay. Okay, yeah. So we need to get something. Let's try this guy. I mean, it's not the same image that we have presently, so well, I guess that will be so let's see if I can use this guy. Okay. So let me just open image. Okay, so let's use this guy. It's not the same image, but I should do. Let me see what's the name of our phone. Or instead of, let me just copy the link. Let me just leave it open instead. Yeah. All right. All right. So let's get started. So now we have the doc type, and then you can have our HTML tag, And in this HTML tag, let's give it the header, which is the head tag. And then we can also link the CSS file right now, so that way we don't forget when we are writing our CSS. So we have the link, leave, then it's table style sheet. Then we can have we call it final.css. So we can also, before that, let's give it the title. The title should be, let's just say final. Okay, so that is for the head. So we can then give it a body. So now we have the structure, and then we can start writing our HTML element. So let's just look at the website and just try to analyze like what is going on. So here they have like, let's say this section like this is the header. And then inside the header, they have the logo, and they also have some content over here. And also they have like an input element, which is a text box and the button. Similarly, they also have a drop down list over here, a drop down, and beside it they have the button also. So that is the first thing we are going to focus on before we move on to this one. So now let's go back to our own HTML, and then what we can also have is we can use the header tag. So in this header tag, then I can have like a div, and inside this div, we can have these two guys, this logo and this one. So they are both going to be grouped together. And then we can have another div whereby we group these ones together. So let's try it. So this one, we have the logo. So the logo is going to be an image also. And then this one, we're going to have these two guys. So these two elements, we can also group them together. So let me have it in D, and then we can have this to have, so this is going to be the select, which is going to have an option of the languages, I believe. So this is English and Spanish, right? Okay, so let's see we're going to see what we have. English and English and Espanol. All right, whatever that is, let's move. Okay, let me change it. Espanol. Let's look at Espanol. Okay, yeah. So let's just view what we have in the browser, so that we know that although we've not done anything. So well, let's just say okay. So we have the logo, and then we have this, which is English and Espanol. Okay, that is fine. So we also have beside this, we have the button. It can be anything, it can be a button, it can be an anchor tag, designed as a button. So that is fine. So we can also do something similar. We can have beside it, we can have the anchor tag, and then give it sign. just give them href of hash so that it's not going to go to any place. Okay, so we can also give this guy some class name so that we are able to bracket. We know that this one is all the going to whenever we want to start all the header, we're going to use this one. This one is also inside the header, so we can give it like the name, which is the header, and then give it something close to it. So this one is only for this select and the signing. So this is for the signing. So can say give this one a class of signing. Okay. Also, so this is for this. Let's see what we have. Okay, yeah. So now we have the logo. We have the English drop down. Okay, so that's for that. Then also we also have this text over here and this one. So we can also group that together. So this one we can group them together. So after this div, let's see, this is the at the top. So we can after this one, no, okay, so let's go after this one over here. So we can then have our another div which is going to look like it's just like a container for for those header contents. So we have this one that says unlimited something something. So let's just copy text unlimited stuff. So let's give it h1. So after that we have this says we can cancel it at any time. So let's give this one h2 or h3. So let's try h2. If it's too big, we can reduce it to h3. Then we have this. For instance, unlimited, which I cancel anytime. Okay. So this one, let's give this one h3 then. So this for this. Now, this one we have like this one is a form which we can also group this one together. So we can have something like um so this is going to be just for this class. It's also inside the header, so let's give it header contents. Okay, so this one we can also um have it inside the div of class. It's a form, so inside this form uh, we have this input text box, and we also have this button. So we can have them together as So after the inputs, we also so let's try for the button. So it has okay, get started. So we also have this icon over here. So we can do the same thing we have here. Just go over to this place and give it like greater than or something. I think that's the name. No. Okay. Let's see what we have. Mm, okay, they call it chevron light. So let's copy the SVG and then we can like use it now. So they call it chevron white. So let me just put it down. Okay, so that is for that. Um, okay, so now we have this, which is fine. So let's see what we have so far. Okay, yeah. So we have the text box, we have this, we have this, we have this. Okay, so we can then try to let's just try to start this one before we like move to the next content. Okay, so here we have the class header. See, so we have this header, and then we have first and foremost we have this background, like a background something here. But before that, let me give like some font style to this. So the background is black, so let's just make it black, and then the color is white. So just give it a white color. Let's see. Okay, yeah. So now we have a black background, and then we have a white text. Okay. Also, um, so this color, let me just give it a general property. So we don't want it to be on the line. And also we want the color to also be the same as the other, but like this one is blue, so which is the default. We want it to also be white, just like this one's. So then we ask, so let's give it the same value. Okay. Also, I also like to have a universal properties for all the elements on the page. So we're going to have like the let me let me see this. if you look at the way this is, you see like we have some margin top, and also most likely maybe we have some at the left. Not sure, but maybe. But if you look at the top, you see that we have some margin top. So mostly I just set a universal um element properties, so that way it's going to get rid of those default values. So we can specify our own values for it. Okay, yeah. Now the all the margin and heading has been removed. So this is like fresh start. If we want space, we just give it space ourselves. We don't want those default values to override what we want, what we're doing. Also, um, we can also one thing we can also do is set the HTML property. So we can set the font size. Most browsers, the default font size is 16 pixel. So we can, by default, we can say, okay, we want the font size to be 10 pixel. So that means that is going to be like 10 pixel, right, divided by 16 pixel. So let's see if we can. So So 10 divided by 16 is 62.5%. So we can say that instead of that 16 pixels by default, by browser default, we want it to be 62.5%. So if I save this and then my default value will now be 10 pixel, because now that is the default. Also, we can um we normally have like the when you use H1, um, H1, the paragraph, we always have some margin, but we already have that set, so we
Can
probably
you
don't
ex
need that.
can you explain that font size again? You did one calculation now that
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't
yeah.
really pay
So
attention to.
I said the font size, the browser default font size is mostly 16 pixels for most browsers. But I'm now saying that I don't want those 16 pixel. I want 10 pixel. So those 10 pixel, that is the 62.5% of 16 pixel. So that's why I did the 10 over 16. So which is 62.5. I'm not saying that, okay, let's say for example, I want the default to be like 8 pixels. So that would be like 62. That would be like 16 divided by 2. So that's gonna be 8 pixels. Then I can have 50%. So if I have 50%, that means the default is going to be 8 pixel. But because I want it to be 10 pixel, so that's why I have 62.5%. Okay, so also we can, okay, I think that is for that. Also, these are just default values, not like we've done. They are just default values that are mostly just we have width to always be 100%. Okay, so now here we can have the let's start from here now. We have the header. So the header, um, let's go back to the page. Let's refresh this. Nothing changes. So now the header, we want it to be like, if you look at this page, they have a background image. So we need to like add about image at the background, and then the image is this which we are using in our own case, because we're going to get this specific image. So this is going to be the background image that we'll be using. And then if you look at this, it's very clear, like the background image is clear, but these are some shadow cast all over it. So we can have this image as the background. So let's go back to our code. So we have the header. So this header, we want the background to be an image, right? So we can use the background property. We can have the URL of the image, which is going to be this. So let's try. Let's see what we have, if it works. Oh, okay, yeah, we have it. Okay, so we have this image over here. Yeah, you can see now that it covers the whole element. So we have
Yeah.
this image, and we
Eh,
can also
Latif.
like, yep.
So, but let's assume that the owner of the image that have
Mhm.
the copyright, they decided to delete that image. Is still this link, is it going to be valid?
No, 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 it's not going to be valid. So that's why it's better to download it. Like, just save it to your file.
Okay.
So that way you can then call it for, let's say if we save this to our file, you can then say something like um the let's say you put it inside your image, inside a folder called images. You can then, or let's even say you didn't put it inside a folder called images, you can just use the image, just type image dot, if it's png then dot png, or if it's jpg then dot jpg. So you're just going to have it this way, and then you're going to be able to display it. So that is the way it's going to be. But if you have a folder, so let's say the folder is in something else, so you can just have your image slash, then whatever the name of the image is. So let's just say background or something. So dot png. So that is what it's going to look like. See, if you are using like an image that is on your phone, in your folder. But if you're using like a URL, so you just paste the URL on the. Also,
You can comment that syntax, the first one.
okay, okay, okay. You mean this one? Do you mean this one?
Yes, just comment it. So,
Okay, okay, okay. Yeah, can do that.
okay, thank you.
Yeah. No problem. So let's just give this one a background. So we can have our URL. Okay, so this one also, there's background repeat. We can tell it not to repeat. The background position, we can give it like a center. Give this no repeat. Then this one we can give it center. Also the background size, we can give it. I'm not sure we talked about background size and background repeats, but let me let me just quickly talk about it before we call it a day. let me go to the CSS property. Let's just search for background. So the background size. Yeah, so this one, we have, if you have an image and then if you have it as content, it's just going to contain all the um all the space that is available on that page. This one say background size should be contained, but it should not repeat. This is the background repeat I was talking about. So it should not repeat. So it's not going to repeat. But if it is repeat, then it's going to repeat. Now that I change it to repeat, it's going to repeat the same image just to cover the spaces available. But if we use the background size cover, it's just going to be one image that covers the all the available space on the page. And then you can also choose a specific size that you want for it, maybe 30%, this one. So you can add, if you don't want it to repeat, you can add background repeats, no repeats, or background repeats, repeat if you want it to repeat. So that's basically the way background size work. So let's go back, then background size of cover, and then okay, let's save it now and see what we have. Okay, so now we have our image, although it's only able to like contain the little elements that we have, so it's not showing everything. So the more contents we add to the page, or if we add padding to it, now it's going to show more. Let me add some padding. Let's see. So we just see what I meant. We can add it to one of these. Let me just We are probably going to stop here for today, but let me just do this so that we see. Um, let me just put it as 500 pixel. Let me refresh this. Now you see the images contain like cover all the page, because the more the content keeps growing, the more the image is going to be stretching out and you'll be able to see it. But let me remove it as we don't need it right now. So that is for that. Okay, let me leave it. There's one more thing. Um Now this image, if you look at this image, this one is kind of like dark somehow a little bit. Although so mostly I think there was a time you also asked about how to use to like have multiple color on an image when we were talking about background color. So the property that they use for it is called the linear gradient. Let me see if we have it here. Yeah, we should have it. Sure. So the linear gradient, that is what they mostly use for it. So you can use it to have multiple. Yeah, so now you have the name, the linear gradients, then you have the color, the first color, the second color. You can also have multiple, like maybe color one, color two, color three. So they mostly use the linear gradient for it. And you can also like use RGBA. You don't have to use this. You can also use RGBA color code. So that's what I'm going to add to this. But in this case now we are having black. So that is linear gradients. I'm then going to, so we are going to have RGBA. Then I'm going to have the black. But in this case, the A, I'm going to make it like, let's say 0.7. That's the, what is it called? Opacity. So how clear do I want that black color to appear? And also I'm going to have um similar value for it. All right, so let's see what we have for. Okay, something. Yeah, that's something. So we also cast some shadow to it, and we can also use some values. So about DBA before that, we can say should start from top to bottom. So let's see what we have. Okay. Yeah, so we have some shadow over the image using linear gradient. So that's basically what we just use. We use linear gradient too, but the main thing is that we're able to like choose the opacity level. So let's say this is, let me leave it like this. Yeah, I think this is okay. Yeah. So for today, we can stop here for today. Any question? We can continue from here next week.
Yeah, no
Any
question.
question? No question.
For now, no question.
Okay, no problem. I'll attach those documents in the group chat so that way we can all have it.
Okay, all right.